G'day everyone, I'm Jazza, and I saw an animation that a niece of mine made in Procreate, and I was pretty impressed that Procreate can animate. And if there's a way to animate in Procreate and get the benefit of the feeling of these brushes, and even if they have tools that feel as good to animate with as it is to draw with in Procreate, well, I think I'd be happy to recommend it. But the challenge is animation itself requires a lot of actions. While the Procreate experience for art works really well with a very minimal interface, does it become prohibitive when trying to animate? With all the tools and tweaks you need at your disposal, I don't have high expectations, but I'm excited to see if I can be proven wrong. There really is something about the Procreate brushes in particular, and the way that they sort of auto-correct a little bit. Oh my God. I mean, let's just run our eyes over this stuff and see if, animation assist. There it is right there. Now what? Add a layer. Yes, that's a frame. That's a frame right there. Oh, that's animation assist. It makes the layer underneath, so it's a frame. Okay, now let's try and make an animation. Let's start simple, and the way I always like to start with my animation dabbling is with stick figures killing each other. This is awful. He's doing the stick figure classic jump in and tumble. Add frame. Oh, there's me onion skin. So far so good, Procreate. Whoa, that's very fast. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone 24 frames. Let's go back to 12. Boom. Here's where it's gonna hit limitations pretty quickly. If I want a frame hold, I don't think that's an option. I thought I could have done a backdrop drawing or something, but it's not letting me. This is as far as I've gotten on my own. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm gonna see if other people have more useful tips. This is the official Procreate YouTube channel.
We get the options to delete, duplicate, or hold a frame.
Hold a frame! You just tap on the... See, sometimes they have the settings for stuff and you just need to know how to find the hidden mystical shortcut.
And although the animation is the same, we just gained ourselves 2 additional layers to play with.
Hang on. He just said he gained 2 additional layers to play with. That means there's a cap on how many layers or frames you can have. What's the cap? Layer 18, 19, 20... I mean, it's still going. 183 layer limit, even at 12 frames a second. If you had one frame after another at 12 frames a second, is a 15-second animation. If you had it playing at 24 frames a second, you have 7 seconds. And God forbid you play at 30 frames a second, you have 6 seconds. So pretty significant limitations on what you can produce. What is it good for? Like what great animation can be produced with an iPad Pro?
The first and last frames of the timeline have the additional option to be set as an animation background or foreground.
Oh! That's what I wanted to know. Thank you. Good Lord. Oh, okay. So with my newfound learnings, let's put this into practice. Not only can I add a frame hold to accentuate some pauses or breaths every now and then, I can also add a foreground and background. This stuff is built into Procreate and their little animation tool, but it's also hard to find, obviously. I had to look up some guides. Pretty straightforward when you figure it out, but also kind of hidden before you do. So I used my newfound tricks to create a lovely field that this stick figure was jumping into aggressively. You see, the trick is to subvert expectations with your creations. You thought I was going to do a stick figure battle to the death, but instead I'm doing a stick figure frolicking in a field, parkour style. Look, there's a little worm, little wormy. It's pretty cute. And in Procreate, you can add a foreground layer and a background layer. So I use the foreground layer to add a little bit of grass, to add some overlay and depth. But really, like, I think at the end of the day, it's pretty clear what the strength of this is. It's Procreate as an art program, and you can add some motion. You can bring something to life. Beyond doing that to a basic degree, it's not a hugely useful animation tool, but it's an amazing art tool with some animation capabilities. And when you know that, I think that's when you sort of know how you might use it. But before I try and take advantage of this myself, I'm going to explore a little bit and see what other people have done to take advantage of it. What sort of Procreate animations have other people made that I can use as inspiration for my own future creation? So they've got the foreground layer is the logs and the background layer is this environment, and they've done the fire. And it's moody and it looks really cool. So as you can see, they're going frame by frame to do the flame effect, and I'm guessing, ooh, glows. And that's an automated glow that they've added there. That's really neat. It's a blowfish thing, blobfish, puffer. Oh, there is it. Ah, that's cute. Oh, that's pretty nice. I mean, that is very satisfying. These are good examples of the sort of stuff you can produce. And as you can see, you can go pretty complex with the environment, and because the background doesn't have to change, it looks more highly produced than you could probably get as a look in some other animation programs without going external for your environments and stuff. And that's a great also example of something that was animated but more warped and manipulated. So they did animate something that is more detailed. They've just sort of geometry warped and manipulated the cloud on the different layers. And then obviously the lightning is frame by frame and really well done. Love those effects. TikTok time. How you did camera movements and stuff, I don't know. Like that would be like, because you can't manipulate the camera in Procreate unless you did it in post. You must have done it in post. There's some pretty cool stuff out there, but I think you can get the idea that the scope is limited, so people are focusing more on style and the concept, short form, nice looking, but fairly straightforward and simple stuff. So after all that, I've had my dabble. It's time to dive. Now, in sinking my teeth into this, I needed to bring something to life because, I mean, after all, that's what animation is. It's the illusion of life. You can bring something flat and lifeless, make it feel alive and like it has personality or a vibe, but making it look like it moves. And in Procreate, I have to work with the strengths of both the program and my style. And Procreate is not built for lengthy animations. So I thought, quality rather than quantity. I wanted to bring a scene or an environment to life with fewer frames rather than many, but focusing on really capturing a scene, really bringing a vibe, a moment to life. And that vibe is cyberpunk, and that moment is when my character Pro, or Prodigy as is known, is stepping into the streets ready to take on the world. Pro is an escapee from criminal organizations ready for redemption in a super cyberpunky atmosphere, which, okay, I gotta come clean at this point. I'm just talking about my roleplay group over on Tabletop Time Roleplay. We're about to launch Reboot Season 2. Pro is my character. I've been thinking about this stuff non-stop for months, and we're starting this week and I'm super excited. So I thought you might as well at least know where this is coming from. Now, as you can see, I'm doing a lot of photo bashing to put the city together. I actually haven't done much photo bashing in Procreate before, so it was fun to sort of experience that for the first time, and it was pretty organic. It worked really well. I was really happy with the manipulation tools, even though I have a very minimal interface, and I ended up constructing a scene that felt like the composition I sketched out with the coloring that I wanted to give that cyberpunky feel. And with the blocking of the scene all put together, it was time to paint Pro, but I needed to do this in a way that was future-proof ready for animation. As you can see, I'm spending a lot of time on both the scene and painting this character, but it's about this point that I start thinking about how I'm going to split up the layers so that as I duplicate these frames, I know what I can manipulate or add frame by frame animation to bring the whole thing to life. I just needed to pick the right areas to do the animation in. And I chose the hair so I could make sure it's blowing aggressively in the wind, the outlines of some of his clothing and his body, which would also have a bit of a flickering look, which would make it look like his whole outfit is sort of waving in the wind, his jacket, which I'd animate a flap that would move, and then with the character animated, going through the environment and adding weather effects, smoke, rain, lens flares and all that to bring the whole scene together to make it look like my character's standing in a storm, holding his ground amidst the chaos. I need to find out if it really feels like it's been brought to life, and to know that, I need to check with the people who are bringing the story to life with me. Rob plays Sebastian, or Seb, who I got into a world of trouble at the end of season 1.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah! And of course we have Dave, the narrator of Reboot.
Hey, that's super cool. Absolutely.
This is Jen, also known as Eve.
So good.
Do you know what I animated that in? Procreate.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Isn't that trippy? Are you working on Reboot stuff too?
Yeah, I am. This is a bit of the set that we're making, little miniature set. It's Ugly's bar.
I'm a little bit nervous about this last one because Alicia is the artist for a lot of what we're doing in Reboot Season 2, who brings a lot of these characters in this world to life. So if I get your approval, I feel like it's a success.
Oh, that's so cool. I love the rain as well. I like how the rain like hits him. Oh, it looks so cool.
Yeah, I definitely shamelessly tangented into a Reboot Season 2 plug. We're starting, by the time this video comes out, today. In fact, by the time this video comes out, we're doing our first live stream back, which is actually a recap of Season 1 and an epilogue to Season 2. So if you like this vibe, you could go watch our stream right now and join us for Reboot Season 2. You don't have to have watched all of Season 1. We can lay the groundwork, but if you want to, I'll link to the playlist in the description. So my verdict for animating in Procreate, it's not an animation program, but as far as bringing something to life, I think it's pretty cool. It works to bring something to life. You could probably do a similar thing with Photoshop. Let me know if you want me to try that in a future video. Not comprehensive, but pretty cool that you can do it. Wouldn't make a movie with it, but you can bring something to life. And the brushes and art process, as always, is really good. I hope you think this video was really good, and if you do, please hit the like button, subscribe for more fun with art and creativity, but otherwise, that's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.